What's going on, guys? Welcome back to yet another episode of Breakfast with Perkins. I am, of course, your host, Perkins. This is a toaster strudel. I'm 100% aware I probably should have eaten this before hitting record, but we're just gonna roll with it because I'm fucking starving. When's the last time you had a toaster strudel? I feel like these things were hot in the 90s. And they just kind of went by the wayside. You know what I mean? Or maybe it's just because I was a kid and you eat a lot of weird shit when you're a kid. Not that strudels are weird, but, you know, I don't know. Is this cherry, though? Phenomenal. I might just edit this part out. And I'll keep it in. Anyway, how you doing? Hope everyone's Monday is going well. Hope everyone had a great weekend. Yeah, I don't know. I'm debating. You know, fuck it, we're gonna roll with it. Anyway, hope everyone had a great weekend. First off, let me say, I am 100% in love with this computer. And it pains me, absolutely pains me to say this, but I gotta admit, when you're wrong, I get it now. I understand the hype. I understand why PC gamers are the way they are. Because that thing's fucking dope. I've been playing modded GTA for like the longest. Doing all types. I even put my car, the Q50, I put a Q50 in there. Going all through Los Santos, just fucking shit up in a Q50. I was like... And it runs amazingly. Like it's not even the right... It doesn't even matter. It runs beautifully. So I got no complaints there. I do realize, though, that Steam, which is a client for computer gaming, for those who don't know, is gonna fucking kill my wallet. It's going to kill my wallet because obviously on consoles you have a certain amount of games that you can choose because you're on consoles. Whereas PC, I log into Steam and there's I would say every game on the front page that I'm scrolling through, I've maybe heard of maybe 5% of them. The rest of them I have no idea what they are. And that's how you find those good titles. Why does this taste like spice? It's cherry. Now it tastes like tobacco. Anyway, pipe tobacco, very fragrant. Anyway, I'm loving it. I absolutely love it. Very, very, very happy. One thing I wanted to talk about, I guess something I have a little bit of an expertise on, would be growing up interracial. Now, non-interracial people may think there's not really any difference growing up interracial to growing up non-interracial. But having grown up as such, there's a huge difference. There's a lot of little things that go into growing up in a mixed household. And as I said on the last video, there's a huge difference between being mixed and growing up white suburban or white urban or black suburban or black urban. Urban usually kind of is the same, and then suburban's kind of usually the same. But I guess let's take it back to childhood. So first off, anyone that doesn't know what I am, first off, I'm black and white. Now, contrary to popular belief, those are the last two. When people look at me, no one ever thinks I'm white, no one ever thinks I'm black. I always get some type of like Puerto Rican, Dominican, or some Polynesian, Inuit, Filipino, Samoan type thing, which that's cool. And I usually at this point just agree. I don't even try to correct people. People say, "Oh, were you Polynesian?" Yeah. I don't even try to correct it anymore. I just go with it. So, but yeah, half black, half white. I believe the black side is Congolese and Nigerian for the most part, and the white side is Scandinavian, German, and English. And that all came together and somehow made a Polynesian looking kid somehow. I'm completely fine with it. My name isn't interesting. It's not, the name's not interesting, but there's been plenty of times where I've told people my name, Dan Perkins, and they don't believe me for whatever reason. I don't know if it's because society has brain fucked people into assuming that black people have odd names. I don't know. Though I guess a black guy having the name Dan Perkins could potentially be odd. I don't know. I try not try to, I say try. It doesn't come hard. It's all natural, not falling into stereotypes. But I would say that my upbringing had a very stereotypical upbringing. So, raised by a single white mom due to a dad who was killed via black on black crime. You know, my mom and I wasn't bringing any money, but my mom, starting off, you know, we were struggling, you know, it was a struggling family, and especially from my mom's perspective, she was raising a kid on her own, and without any help, and doing so, raising this kid that like kind of looks like this guy that just got murdered and that she thought she was going to spend the rest of her life with. So I would imagine that that was very, very hard. One thing I can give props on eternally to my mother is I never knew growing up that we were poor. I think any good parent will make that a thing. Yeah, when I was growing up, I never had need or want of anything. I had everything I wanted. Even so, I mean, fuck, my first game console was a Super Nintendo. And I remember she got it at the Toys R Us. There used to be a Toys R Us on Southridge. Not on Southridge, at Southridge on Army Post at 14th, I think it was. She used to work at that J.C. Penney in that same parking lot at the mall. But she got it for me there, and I, looking back on it, know that we didn't have two fucking nickels to rub together. But she worked her ass off and made it so I could enjoy my childhood. And again, I never knew that we were poor until growing up and then looking back on things like, God damn, we were struggling. Anyway, going through life and stuff like that. So I went to school at Indianola. That was my elementary called Irving Elementary. Not a lot of black people in Indianola. I don't know if you've ever been in Indianola. Probably not. If you haven't, you're not missing out on much. Not a lot of color in Indianola. So, surrounded by a lot of white folk. There was nothing really differentiating between me and them as kids. And I only went there for, 2 months or so? And then moved to Des Moines. Strike that. Moved to Urbandale. Moved to Urbandale around age 5, I think it was. Or 6. Well, it had to have been that, 'cause I only went to the school for a couple months. So moved to Urbandale, went to Olmsted. Now, there was more color in Urbandale than there was in Indianola. So it was interesting being around other kids that were, melanated and stuff like that. So that was really cool. But again, it's Urbandale. I don't know if you're familiar with Urbandale or not. Not a whole lot in the way of color. Fast forward to, I could name like the 5 kids that had some sort of melanation to their skin. Who was it? It was me. Okay, me, Jared Parks, Lauren Coleman for a little bit, Ashley Weber. Who else would have been biracial or melanated to an extent? Am I forgetting people? I think those are like the only people I can think of. So again, not a whole lot of, shit going on. Go to middle school. Of course, you're around, when you get to middle school, everyone from the district is in this one school. So then you're around a lot more people. But there was nothing really still differentiating me race-wise from everyone else. I never felt out of place. I never felt like I didn't belong. None of that shit. I never felt any of that. Then we'll jump to, let's see here. I'm trying to think what age I was. It was when my sister lived here, which was a very brief time. A piece of that fucking strudel just shot out of my mouth. If you could see that on camera, I apologize. If not, just forget I even said anything. It's So my sister lived here, so I would have been what age? Fuck, when would that have been? That was forever ago. And there was 2 instances. Now, mind you, I never felt out of place around white people. And I don't know why that was. But I never felt out of place around black people either. But there was a couple instances where, I guess me being raised white, whatever you want to call, whatever that means to you, because I don't know what the definitive, could you define that?
I need you to make a definitive decision.
Definitive. Can you define that? Definitive.
I don't know what you would call that. I don't know. Well, raised white, what's that mean? You speak well? I don't know what that means. Just I was raised by a white mom, so I don't know exactly what that entails. I went to a basketball camp, a Jeff Hill basketball camp, and then I used to be part of a church. This was long ago. I'm trying to figure out which. They were right around the same time. And I remember I went to this basketball camp, and everyone there, black, with I don't even know if there was an exception. I don't remember any white kids. I think I was the most white kid. And that was the first time that there was an overt difference between me and them. I didn't have any like similarities with these people. It wasn't like I was like, ew, you're not, it wasn't any of that. It's just you could feel like there was like, this kid doesn't belong. And then I remember one time during church, I used to be Corinthian Baptist, all black church. Church was great. The church was awesome, but there was a summer where I did like the what do you call it? It wasn't vacation Bible school. It was like for the older kids. And I remember I went there and I had my pants up, like that sagging shit. I was never a fan of that. I was just never a fan of that shit. I remember I had my pants. The shorts were above like the knee or something like that. It's probably like 13, 14, whatever. And I remember I got shit from 2 other black kids about how I was dressed. And that was like those 2 instances. I didn't really understand like what the deal was. I didn't understand what the deal was. And this is kind of starting to come off as like a black hate thing. I don't mean it to be that way. These are just instances that I remember being. On the flip though, those were kind of overt, but they were inconsequential. It wasn't like I went home like, hey mom, the kids were mean to me today. There wasn't anything like that. But I'm sure there was plenty of times that covertly there might have been a white person that, might have said something, whatever, like, I don't know. But I'm just saying those 2 times where I blatantly noticed something's off here, something's not right. Those were 2 times. And it's very interesting being biracial because people look at me, they don't know what race I am up front, but people look at me, they say, there's a black guy, that's a black dude right there. And then they just assume certain things about me, what I like to do, criminal background, whatever it is. And then like they'll hear me talk or they'll hear me say something or I don't know, ask my name, whatever it is, and then it's like, oh, you're whitewashed. That's another thing too that black people have said to me a lot, is that I'm whitewashed. I don't know exactly what that means. What would make someone whitewashed? What is it? How they speak? Is it how they're dressing? Is it how they present themselves? Is it the music they're listening to? What is it? I don't know. That was all teenage shit though. I have zero recollection any time over the last decade and a half where there's ever been like a blatant discrepancy between me and another race of people. And I know when you're in your teen years that that kind of thing, kids are trying to figure themselves out, you're cliquey, you're trying to find your own groove. There's a lot of variables and shit that goes on in your teenage years, as we all know. For those that have been teenagers or those that are raising teenagers, you know exactly how that shit goes. But it's still a very interesting thing to me when, like, I remember hearing people say like, oh, hey, she's into black dudes. You should try that. And I'll immediately respond with, like, she's not into my type of black, though. Like, my type of black, like, when a chick says she's into black, first off, if you are limiting yourself to just one, I almost said species of person, if you're limiting yourself to one race of person, stop it. You're fucking stupid. Like I said before, it's Baskin Robbins out here. You got 31 flavors. You're just eating chocolate. You better go ahead and get some of that maple praline walnut. You better go over there and get some of that lemon poppy seed. You better go over there and get some of that mint chocolate chip. I don't know what that would be. But people that limit themselves to one culture or one race, I just don't vibe with white guys. Or I've never had, an Asian chick look my way. Maybe I don't. Shut the fuck up. Sorry. What was I talking about? I completely forgot. I lost my complete state of mind what I was talking about. Chicks that, say that they are only into like black, but like, that's not my black. You know what I mean? And I remember as a kid, I used to get called corny by people. There was a group of guys that I used to hang out. I used to be really close with, not so much anymore, but there was a group of guys I used to hang out with, and they'd always have house parties. And I remember anytime they had white chicks over, there was zero opposition, I guess, from them. But anytime they had black chicks over, there was a noticeable, like, weird tension with me and them. And you could note that the guys that I was with would comment on it, all this shit like that. And you could just tell in the way they treated me. And I'll be honest, when I was younger, that shit, it used to, I hate the term sad, because people assume you're I never lost sleep over shit like this. I never felt depressed over shit like this. It was always just like, what the fuck is wrong? Like, what issue do you have with me? What's the problem? You know what I mean? And it was always black chicks. That was in my youth. And I don't know what it is. I think it's that we all grow up, and because back in the day I could never attract a black chick. I for the life of me couldn't do it. Not that I was purposely setting out to, tonight I'm going to attract a black chick. It was never like that. It was, I knew what I attracted, and it was never a black woman. I was around enough of them, but I could never attract them. Now fast forward to today, it's really weird because I would say over the last decade, I went from, this guy's like, comes off as corny, all this shit, to now I have no problem like attracting any race, any culture. And working at I don't know if working at the post office has helped that situation at all. Because there's a shit ton of black women at the post office. A shit ton of them. Africans, black, whatever you want. They're all there. And I don't know if it's working there that's like changed everything. But it was before working there though. But like attracting a black woman or mixed race woman, what have you, it used to seem like a challenge, but now it's not so much anymore. I don't know. I don't know what's changed. I don't know if it's because I've come into my own. I don't know if it's we've all just kind of grown up and don't really give a fuck about that shit anymore, or what it is. I'm not mad at it. I'm happy with it. That's completely fine. But just something I've noticed. I would say the bulk of the differentiation between me being a mixed race and other people, that was mainly the teens. That was mainly between like ages 12 to 17. 12 to about 20, because those chicks, the black chicks, used to come over for the house parties and stuff. That was about before we became of age. It was about 19, 20. It's about 7 years in there, 12 to 19, 20. And I don't know. I don't know what happened. But it's interesting. It's very interesting. Growing up mixed race, though, is fun, I think, because it gives you an interesting perspective on white people and black people. Now, there's certain topics and stuff that could happen that may or may not be race related that I could look at with a completely different. I could be talking with someone black about an issue that white people may not give a fuck about, but be able to give insight on why white people don't give a fuck or whatever it is. And then vice versa, I could be talking with a white person that doesn't quite understand why black people have a problem with a certain thing, and I could be like, well, hey, not that I'm speaking for all black. I'm not saying that. As a representative of the black culture and community, I'm not saying that at all. What I'm saying is, I'm able to kind of see both sides. Like I can see why someone black would be upset with that, or I can see why someone white would say this. I can see that. Now I may not agree or disagree, whatever, with that, but I get an understanding of where that person's coming from. So it adds a very, very interesting perspective with things. I know to this day, I'll have friends, and it's really weird because white people. They don't see me as and I guess not even recently, just over my whole life, because I remember people made comments about it when I was younger, stuff like that, teenager and stuff. White people don't fully obviously see me as white because I'm not 100% fully white, and then black people don't see me as fully black because I'm obviously not fully black. So it also has kind of like this weird identity crisis thing when you're a kid, because you have two groups of people that you are both of, but they don't really there's I gotta be careful with my words here. Not that I'm gonna say anything bad, but I don't want to sound weird. There's a you don't have a sense of belonging. You know what I'm saying? I think when you grow up around people that are like you, it's a lot easier to open up and grow and flourish. Not that I had any issues growing and flourishing. I'm just saying people are like you, And I think I didn't really have that. I was just kind of in my own league, with the exception of like Jared Parks, who was also a mixed race, and then getting to middle school and high school, we had Jordan Washington and Tony May. I think Tony May was mixed. Maybe he wasn't. I don't know. And so those are people you kind of like. You can be like, okay, yeah, you're mixed like me, this, that, and the other. So it's kind of like this cool, common thing you have between you and someone else. I don't know. I should probably provide structure with these shows. I don't really provide structure. I go off a list or off the top, and then it's all sporadic and crazy. I don't know. But I would say being mixed is cool. Not that it's better than anything else. We have any like special powers or anything. But being it adds an interesting spice to life versus being 100% something or 100% the other. It kind of has like an air of mystique to it. People don't know what you are. They don't know where. I would say at least twice a week people will ask me what I am, where I'm from, all that stuff, and it's fun. It's kind of just a keep people guessing type thing. And then I'll tell people like what I am. Like there was a chick at work. I told her, she asked me. She goes, Dan, can I ask you a question? I was like, yeah, what's up? She goes, which one of your parents is Chinese? And I was like, well, neither. There's no part of Asian in me. She goes, are you serious? So I always keep my ancestry at the ready on the phone, because people usually just don't believe what I am. So I just showed her. She's like, wait a minute. She goes, you're part African? I was like, yeah, Congolese and Nigerian. She goes, what? And she was completely flabbergasted. Now, the state of surprise like that doesn't usually happen. Usually it's like, oh, okay, whatever. But just little instances like that, they're fun for me. I don't know. I don't mind when people ask me, what are you? Where are you from? Now, if they're like, go back to your country, I'm like, nigga, this is my country. What are you talking about? I'm from here. I'm not foreign, idiot. That would be weird. But other than that, we're going to go to some questions here. Bad choices. I'm going to do one of these. I got a new card game that's a bit deeper. Actually, you know what? We'll do that one first, because I always said I'll never end on a low note. Actually, I got these on the TikTok store. Some dude, I don't know, some guy, some black dude made these card games. It's not even a game. It's more of like a get to know you, but it's deeper. Like the other ones are like, would you stick your cock in a pile of hot shit, or would you stick it in a blender? Those are fun, but these are more deeper thought, more analytical, more... You'll see what I'm talking about. So, like, the first one, let's see here. What would you say if you could send a message to your past, present, and future self? Past self, I would say, lay off the food. Get in the gym. And stay focused. Don't lose track of what you're here to do. The food thing, I was a heavy fucking kid, so it would make sense to lay off the food and get in the gym. Present self, I would tell. Well, no, present self. Well, no, I guess no. Yeah, past self. I loved my last relationship. Was really fun. It was a great time. It was fun. A lot of ups and downs, but it was a fun time. But if I could go back and never had entered that relationship, I would do it in a heartbeat. Nothing against her. Nothing against the relationship. I had a great time in it. Like I said, a lot of ups and downs. Me and her on paper were not fit to be together. And if I could go back and not have done that, I would have not have done it. And to my future self, what would I say to my future self? Oh man, what would I say to myself in the future? I don't even know what I'd be like in the future. What would I say to myself in the future? I don't know what to say to that. What would I say if I could send a message to myself in the future? I don't know. I don't know an answer to that. I genuinely don't know. That's baffling. What would you say if you could send a message to your future self? What would you say? Also, past, present self, what would you say? But future self, what would the message be to your future self? That's a tough one because you don't know what your future self is like. You don't know what your future self is going to have accomplished. There's a lot of variables that go into that. I don't know. That's interesting. But those are the type of questions. And actually, if you are curious about it, it's called substance. This is kind of what it looks like. I don't know if it'll no, it's not going to zoom. There it is. So, yeah, it's called substance. There are a lot of questions, a lot of deeper thought questions. And again, you guys know me. I love questions like that. So, whatever, raunchy, whatever. Just questions that make you think. Because I actually fucking answer them. Unlike some people, you ask them a question like, oh, I don't know. Next question, don't ask me shit like that. Shut the fuck up. You're no fun, you fucking wet blanket. Fuck yourself. Alright. How about you? Have you ever been caught masturbating? No. Never. 33 and 0. Never been caught jerking the gherkin. So that's good. That's a plus. Or maybe I have. And the person that saw it just didn't want to say anything. I don't know. That's interesting. But to my recollection and to my... I don't. No, I don't think I've ever been caught masturbating. Have you ever masturbated at work? No. Never masturbated at work. The urge has been there before at some point. You know, because you get taken over by the mood. We're human. We're sexual creatures. It is what it is. And you get taken over by the mood. And you gotta go do what you gotta do. But I don't know if you've seen those bathrooms, at least at the post office. You can't get in the mood in that. The smell alone will kill your heart unlike no other. Let's see here. Okay, would you rathers? Would you rather be the sole survivor of a zombie apocalypse or gain a pound every time you say a curse word? Gain a pound. I'm gaining a pound. I'm going to be a fat fuck by the end of it, but I'm gaining a pound. Because you could work that pound off. It doesn't say that the pounds are there forever. You could work them off. And just watch what you say. Sole survivor of a zombie apocalypse. It's just you, and that's it. No one else. That's lonely. That's really lonely. We'll do... We'll do one more pick your poison. Let's see here. Would you rather make a snow angel on a floor covered in 6 inches of warm semen, or drink 2 liters of fat that was siphoned from somebody's belly? Now those are the ones I like. These are the ones. Because both of those, that's like asking if you want to step in dog shit or cow shit, really. 2 liters of fat. I don't think I could do 2 cups of fat. Yeah, I'm making the semen angel. Yeah, I'll do the. That's the 6 inches. That's gonna get in your ears. Ugh. But that semen will come off with a hot shower. That 2 liters of fat, that's in you, and it's from someone else. You're out of your fucking mind. Oh. Anyway, I'll end the plane there. Bit chaotic, bit sporadic this episode. I should have had some more format, but I think it's fun just getting on here and just talking and seeing, what comes out. That rehearsed shit, it is what it is. But I'll end the plane there, guys. Appreciate you guys for watching. Like and subscribe. Comment below. Let me know how you feel. Talk shit. Whatever you want to do. But yeah, I appreciate you guys. Hope you guys have a good one. See ya.